Hello, my name is Elina and I'd like to welcome everyone to the Tuesday World Meditation. Tonight you join me from my home in Saskatchewan, Canada. This sacred time and space is devoted to our shared practice of entering stillness together and of giving together. Let us first surround and protect ourselves with the love and the grace of God. Before we begin the meditation, I'd like to share a passage from the new message about practice. I'll read from the Revelation, the Remembrance, as revealed to Marshall V. Summers on March 12, 2016 in Boulder, Colorado. What greater strength could God give to you than the remembrance? For with it comes the strength of your immortality, which begins to unravel the countless layers of fear, apprehension, resentment, and unforgiveness that are so much a part of your experience living in separation. What greater gift could God give you than the remembrance of who you are, why you came, who sent you, and what it means to be in the world, living with the greater purpose and mission for being here? As you take the steps to knowledge, as you begin to allow knowledge to reshape your life and the remembrance to give you its strength, courage, and integrity, you will look at others as if they are living in chains, bound to their ideas, lost in their fears and their fantasies, believing in their delusions, trying to be happy, trying to be comfortable, trying to be secure, but always feeling insecure, always feeling uncomfortable, always driven by anxiety. Their plight, which was your plight before, now becomes ever clearer, and you will look upon them with compassion, for you will see their dilemma more clearly. You will see more clearly the reality of living in separation, apart from your ancient home and all that existed there. But now you have begun the remembrance slowly, surely, as your life begins to become simple and clear, as your mind begins to open from its long and troubled dream of separation. It is the remembrance. It is the feeling that you are not alone. There is the recognition that you are not really lost as you were before. There is something more solid and permanent within you now that transcends belief and ideology. You can feel it, and as you feel it, it becomes stronger and more prevalent in your life, providing contrast and giving you freedom from constant anxiety and self-repudiation. Your values change, your priorities change naturally because you are beginning to remember. As you remember, you feel heaven smiling upon you, and your old fear of God, your old fear of punishment, your old fear of sin, your old fear of being exposed to the presence begins to melt away. Like ice upon the pond, in the warmth of heaven, it begins to melt away. Now you have an anchor for being in the world that is not of the world, but that must be in the world. For you are not of the world, but now you must be in the world. But you need this anchor, you see, or you will be adrift on the turbulent seas of the world, lost, drifting, unknown to yourself and others. But now you have sails and you have direction. Now your life can begin to move as it was meant to move, as it was designed to move, as it was intended to move. Slowly, moments here and there, you feel it. But the moments increase as you take the steps to knowledge, as you allow your mind to settle down, as you learn how to live without constant fear and uncertainty, as you find freedom each day from self-repudiation and self-doubt, as you are freed from unhealthy engagements with others, unhealthy habits within your own thinking and behavior, the moments of remembrance increase, become more pervasive, become more like the background of your real life. Instead of only a fleeting moment here and there, it becomes the ground underneath your feet, the ballast for your ship, so that it can withstand the winds of the world and sail the turbulent seas with assurance. And the revelation continues. Take then now the steps towards remembrance. Take then now the steps to knowledge. Receive in humility and in gratitude the revelation for this time and the times to come. Let your hearts and your deeper sense enable you to respond. Allow your mind to be confused, for it is confused already. Allow things to be undefined until knowledge can make life clear to you over time. Allow your journey to open before you, step by step, rather than constructing some belief about what it is and what it will mean. You control yourself in taking the journey. You will need to control your mind and emotions and involvements with others and bring greater clarity and discernment to these things. But the journey itself is being given to you from beyond you, for you do not know your way to return, nor can you construct it for yourself. It is mysterious, just like the remembrance, just like knowledge within you, just like the greater reality of you that lives beneath the waterline, beneath the surface of the mind. Please join me now in a 30-minute stillness practice. Take whatever time you need to read your own step and enter stillness when you are ready. Nasi Navare Karam. While we are in this place of stillness, I'd like to share a passage from the new message speaking about the messenger. I will read from the revelation called Supporting God's New Revelation, as revealed to Marshall Vian Summers on February 1st, 2009 in Boulder, Colorado. A messenger has been sent to deliver the new message from God. He's a humble man, a man without social position, a man who has dedicated his life to preparing to receive the new message and to receive the message over a long period of time without recognition and without fanfare of any kind. He has given his life to this. He has committed his time and his resources to this. He's the one who can bring the new message from God into the world, for he was designed and chosen for this before he came into this world. No one can replace him in his role, and there will not be another messenger for a very long time. For God's new messages come infrequently and are meant to serve the needs of humanity far into the future. And the revelation continues. It is important for you to know that the message and the messenger must be assisted and supported. He is bringing a new revelation to humanity, but there are very few who are aware of his existence. There is a small group of people who have been called to assist him in his great mission here, but he will need the assistance of many more people now. He will need their support. He must create a vehicle through which to present the new message in its pure form, which he is endeavoring to do now with all of his efforts and talents, and the talents of his family and the talents of those who have been called to assist him. He cannot do this without the assistance of others. For Marshall Vian Summers, the support is for the new message. He only receives a very small compensation from his work, and his life is simple and humble. He does not require a great deal, but his effort is great and will require participation and financial support from many people around the world. The messenger is without ambition, so he will only do what is required of him to do and no more. He does not seek glory. He does not seek to build a huge structure or organization. He does not seek broad recognition, for he realizes that these things will bring danger to his life and tribulation as well. Though the world needs a new message from God tremendously, it is not yet aware of its need and will not welcome such a revelation to be given, even though its wisdom is greatly required now. What he needs is for the new message to become available to people in wealthy nations, to people in poor nations, to the lonely, to the desperate, to the oppressed, and to the impoverished, to the wealthy and to the powerful, to those who have privilege and to those who do not, to those in the West and to those in the East. How can one man with limited resources reach the people of the world in a short period of time? For you do not have much time to prepare for the great waves of change that are coming to the world. You do not have much time to prepare for encountering the reality of life in the universe around you. How can one man and a small group of assistants with very limited resources reach the world in the few years that humanity has to prepare? Already, the great waves of change are impacting the world. Environmental change, the changing climate, violent weather, the destruction of food production, the loss of water resources, growing economic and political instability and hardship, and the great risk of war between groups and nations over who will gain access to the remaining resources. How can the messenger reach the world? He will need your support and assistance. His needs personally are small, but the needs of his mission are great. He's committed to bring the purity of the new message into the world, and he is the one chosen and prepared to do this. Let us spend a few moments together to be with Marshall and send him our love and strength and great, deep gratitude. Now see if there are others in the world or in your life who need to receive this strength as well. If so, spend a moment sending strength or another quality to these individuals. Nasi Navare Koran. Thank you all for coming.